Hey, Dad, you got a bite.
Beauty.
Look at it. Wow. Dad, how old do I have to be before I can smoke?
Jamie, haven't they taught you about smoking at that school of yours? There's a lot of risk, like lung cancer, heart disease. And what about your health classes? Haven't they told you about smoking?
Not so loud, Dad. You'll scare the fish.
Well, haven't they?
Sure, Dad. We've seen all that stuff. They even have a dummy with bottles for lungs. They make it smoke a cigarette. Should see the brown stuff.
That's tar, Jamie. Cancer-producing tar. I just don't know why you'd want to start.
Well, because a lot of kids my age are doing it. Besides, you smoke.
That's not good enough. Look, Jamie, I know I'm not a very good example, but I never want to see you start. Is that clear?
Dad? If cigarettes are so bad for you, why don't you quit?
It's not that easy. It's hard to quit.
You mean you're hooked?
It's one way of looking at it.
Dad, if I could help you stop.
Jamie, I'm afraid there's nothing you can do.
If I could find a way so you could quit, would you make a deal?
I'm not sure whether...
Trust me, Dad. Trust me?
Okay. You got a deal.
Hello, Mrs. Willard.
Hi, Jamie. Come on in. Chris, Jamie's here. Well, looks like you two are in for a pretty heavy session.
Yeah, biology test tomorrow.
Oh. Well, why don't you make yourself at home?
Okay.
And she'll be out in a minute.
Okay, thanks. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Jamie. Well, how'd it work?
I like a charm.
How'd you do it?
Well, I just asked him how old before I could smoke. I knew that'd get him. So how'd it go with your mom?
Not so good. I'm still working on her. She just gotta quit, Jamie. I'm really getting worried. Especially after what we saw in health class. I mean, sometimes she coughs so bad she can hardly breathe.
Well, just keep working on it. We still got a little time before the clinic starts.
Yeah, but the worst part is she doesn't really even want to quit. Maybe if you said something to her.
Well, I'd like to, Chris, but she's not going to talk to you about it. She's certainly not going to talk to me.
I guess you're right. I'll have to think of something.
Dr. Gallagher, Dr. Wes Gallagher, please call the operator.
Well, Dad, what do you think?
I think I'm nervous. I haven't seen this much activity since college.
Hey, there's Chris and her mom. Dad, this is Mrs. Willard.
Hi, I'm Carol.
Just call me Roger.
How'd you do it?
I don't know. She just changed her mind.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Mason. Welcome to the 5-day plan to stop smoking. Good to see so many of you here tonight. There's some new faces and some familiar faces, too. By the time we finished, I'm sure we'll know each other a lot better. I want to introduce you to Dr. Janet Goodson. Dr. Goodson is a doctor of health science. Each evening, she'll deal with the psychological aspects of smoking, while I'll be dealing with the medical and physical. Dr. Goodson.
Thank you, Dr. Mason. How many of you here know what this is? Very good. You all pass. You reach for the pack, light up a cigarette, inhale, smoke it to the end. You do this 30 times a day, 210 times a week, over 10,000 times a year. During that year, you've courted a smoky, two-headed monster. One head is purely habit, a repetitive conditioning process, and the other head is addiction, where your body has developed a physiological need for the substance. We're here to help you beat this monster, and if we all work together, we'll do it. Tonight, you'll receive one of these. It's your dragon killer. No matter where you are, whenever you feel the urge to smoke, just pull out this control booklet, and you can review the same principles we'll learn here at the meetings. Remember, it's taken you 10 years, 20 years, or more to develop the smoking habit. And we're going to break that habit in 5 days through the proper use of willpower or resolutions. But no promises. They're too easy to break. Instead, we're going to substitute a will strengthener. And here's how that works. A will strengthener is simply a statement of purpose. I choose not to smoke. Notice you're not making a promise to yourself or anyone else. Broken promises are discouraging. Instead, you're making a choice. How many will say with me tonight, I choose not to smoke? Let's say it together.
I choose not to smoke.
There, that wasn't hard. Now remember, that choice, that decision is just for the rest of the evening.
What about tomorrow, Doc?
Tomorrow is another day. Do you know that the Bible says, don't be anxious about tomorrow. Live one day at a time. That's excellent advice. Anyway, tomorrow you have the same choice. And with every proper use of the will, it becomes stronger.
How about tapering off? Cutting down during this week?
Yeah, Doc. You don't want us to quit cold turkey, do you?
Well, it's your choice. Better cold turkey than dead duck.
So finally, class, I want to conclude tonight with these thoughts about nicotine. It's a drug sold over the counter in over 565 billion doses a year, mostly in the form of cigarettes. Dr. Goodson, would you get the lights for me, please? This is a normal lung of a person 45 to 55 years old. This is a cancerous lung. The white growth at the upper end is cancer, while the black discoloration at the lower end is caused by emphysema. If you smoke, your chances of dying from lung cancer are 700% greater than those who never smoked regularly. And the incidence of other kinds of cancer, such as throat and stomach cancer, are more than 100% greater in smokers than non-smokers. This is a normal human brain, remarkably able to gather, organize, store information, and even create new thoughts. And for this organ to operate normally, it must have good circulation to provide an adequate supply of blood and oxygen. In this close-up view, the arrows show the arteries which supply the brain with blood. These are normal, but here, look at these. Notice the bulging in the artery at the right and the thin, restricted condition where the other red arrows are. And both create a critical lack of circulation, and this clogged condition is caused by cholesterol. It's a factor in senility and stroke. And research suggests that not only the typical American high-fat diet, but nicotine and other chemicals absorbed from tobacco may be involved in the buildup of fatty deposits in these arteries. Could we bring the lights up, please? Nicotine, along with other substances in cigarette smoke, leads to 360,000 known deaths a year. That's 1,000 people a day. That's equivalent to the whole population of Oklahoma City or Portland, Oregon, Minneapolis. Imagine that. A city a year. Now, how are we going to get that nicotine out of your system? Well, it's really quite simple. We're going to flush it out. First with fruits and fruit juices, and then with water. So my prescription for the next 24 hours is to live mainly on fruit and fruit juices. Get them fresh or frozen. What we're doing is putting you on high-grade vitamins such as A and C. Also minerals such as potassium and calcium. But in addition, I want you to drink 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. An easy way to get all that liquid inside of you is to take a glass of water every time you feel the urge to smoke. And if you're worried about gaining weight, well, a glass of cold water will curb your appetite. And there's more information on not gaining weight in that control booklet you have. Dr. Goodson?
And now, before you leave tonight, we're going to ask you to pair off into what we call the buddy system. Choose a friend or someone sitting near you. Exchange phone numbers, and be sure to call your buddy at least once sometime tomorrow, just to see how he's doing. Or if you need to call, I'm sure your buddy won't mind.
And I'm sure most of you will be back tomorrow night without having smoked a single cigarette. Good night.
Good.
Did you get the feeling we've been had by a couple of kids?
I do get that impression.
Still, it's an easy way to get a lady's phone number. I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay.
Come on, Jim, let's go.
Oh. Carol?
Yes. Oh, hello.
I didn't expect you'd be here tonight. But as much advice as I've given you, I'm delighted you've come.
Well, it was Chris's idea. She tries very hard to bring me up right, I guess.
Good for you, Chris. You know, bringing up parents can be hard work sometimes.
I know.
Yeah. You'll be here tomorrow night?
Yes.
Good.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
I wonder if they can handle it.
They're all grown up, remember?
Maybe we should go with them tonight. A room full of strange people they hardly know, all strung out with wild, rolling eyes from nicotine fits.
Oh, will you stop it? They need to be by themselves. They'll only be gone an hour and a half. Has your dad smoked at all today?
No, he hasn't. How about your mom?
She's trying real hard. I know she'll make it. She's got to make it.
Remember your first cigarette? That dizzy, nauseating jolt you received when you inhaled. That was your nervous system reacting to a volatile poisonous chemical known as C10H14N2. Nicotine. It's an organic nerve drug so powerful that a small injection would cause instant death. Cigarette smoke also contains carbon monoxide, a deadly killer in automobile exhaust. Now, that's only 2 of dozens of chemicals in cigarette smoke. Now, is it any wonder that so many smokers have higher incidences of so many diseases? We got the work back from the lab this morning. It confirmed what I'd thought all along. Carol, you have a rather severe case of chronic bronchitis. The lining of the lungs is inflamed and partially clogged. Now, if your condition doesn't improve, you may end up with emphysema.
Well, at least it's not as bad as cancer.
And in some cases worse. With cancer, if it's detected early enough, it can be treated. But with emphysema, there is no cure. The patient slowly, painfully suffocates.
Well, what can I do?
Put down those cigarettes. So put them down. Be a quitter. Your body will thank you and start to repair and rebuild much of the damage that's already been done. All right, now let's hear from Dr. Goodson. Janet?
Thank you, Dr. Mason. How many did not smoke a single cigarette since last night? Give yourself a hand. And how many are ready to try another 24 hours? Good. Now, here are some new principles that will be a real help to you. After every meal, get outside, walk, and breathe deeply for at least 15 minutes. Do not sit after meals. Walk. Do not sit after eating. This is the time you will want most of all to smoke. Most of you have the habit of collapsing in an easy chair or repeating certain routines that are linked in your mind to your smoking habit. Don't sit. Get immediately outside for a relaxing walk, and while you're out there, take several deep breaths. The second principle to put into your program is no caffeine or alcohol. Do not drink tea, coffee, cola beverages, or alcohol while trying to kick the habit. I know this seems tough, but there's a psychological link, a habit pattern to break, and a physiological link to your nervous system that is bound up with the craving for tobacco. Let's face it, gang, this is a detox situation. We have to assist the body's efforts to throw out these accumulated toxins, and it's a rough thing to go through. You certainly don't need any additional stimulants during this period. Just keep using the walking, the water, and your will, and you'll get through.
Hello?
Carol, this is Roger Burton. I hate to call you at this hour.
Oh, it's okay.
Well, I'm just about to give in and light up, and, well, you know the plan. I'm sorry to disturb you. I mean, you know.
No, it's really all right, Roger. I was awake. Besides, I'm glad you called. Please, don't touch that cigarette. You can do it. I just know you can.
Carol, you don't sound too good. You weren't coming down with something.
Really, I'm all right. Listen to me, Roger. Listen to me closely. Just don't light that awful thing up. Look, try to take 3 deep breaths. Go for a walk. Chew some gum. Do anything, but just don't give in to it. Look, I'll see you tomorrow night. I'm sorry.
Glad you could make it. Well, we've learned a lot these past evenings about
Thanks
how
for the
to
help
live
last
better.
night. I was a little
Let's
worried
look
about you.
again
I
at
almost
some
called
of
you
our
back.
helpers.
Oh, it's just a bad night, that's all.
I choose not to smoke. This is our will-strengthening slogan. If someone offers you a cigarette, don't say, I'm trying to quit. Say, no, thank you. I choose not to smoke. It's a choice, a decision you make one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. Water, inside and out, 6 to 8 glasses, not with meals, but between your meal times. Warm baths, 2 or 3 a day if you have to, or showers. It's pretty hard to smoke in a shower. Adequate rest. No night clubbing if you want to quit smoking. Your nervous system needs extra rest right now. Do not sit after meals. Walk. Walking will change your life. It's not only the safest form of exercise, it's effective. No caffeine or alcohol. I don't have to tell you how alcohol can affect the reasoning center of your brain and what that can do to your willpower. And you remember our discussion on caffeine and nerve stimulation. Cut fat and grease. Use less steak and more fruits and vegetables. Try more broiling and baking and less frying. Now, why don't we review some of your motives for wanting to quit? Any ideas?
Better health.
Better health is naturally a strong motive. It means greater happiness. It means strength to earn a living, and certainly security for your family. Other ideas?
Yeah, it'll save me money.
Yes, it certainly will. Even giving up a pack a day will save you over $5,000 in 20 years. Other reasons?
Just to break a bad habit.
Yes. It's great to be in control of your life, isn't it? Now, we've been dealing with this problem both physically and psychologically. But I believe there is one more way that is one of the most powerful of all to fight your habit and win. And that is on a spiritual level.
Now, all I'm asking you to do is to try quitting.
I've tried, and it's just not worth it. Listen, Doctor, I only have one really bad habit, just one. I don't steal. I don't cheat on my taxes. I've had to raise a daughter alone, and that's not easy. So don't I deserve just one bad habit? Just one.
You know, the mind plays games with us. You feel like you're rewarding yourself when you light up. But are you really rewarding yourself when you're injecting a deadly poison into your system? A poison that may shorten your life.
I just can't quit. I've tried everything.
Everything? Have you ever prayed for help to stop?
Prayed? I really don't think that I'm into that sort of thing, Doctor.
No, I'm serious. You don't have to be into it.
Pray. I mean, just like that?
Mm-hmm. Just like that. Ask God for help sometimes. You might be surprised at what happens. Prayer can help when nothing else can.
It means you give God your will, and He gives you His power. So I can't urge you enough to take advantage of divine power.
help me. I just can't do it alone. You just gotta help me. Please help me.
Carrie Brown.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Roger Burton.
Raj, congratulations.
Congratulations. Edith Sprinkle.
Congratulations.
I choose not to smoke.
Congratulations, Dad. You finally got that monkey off your back.
We have a little surprise for you, too.
What surprise?
Mom's gone a couple of days without smoking.
Carol, that's terrific.
Well, it's a beginning anyway.
It's a great beginning. What do you say we all go out and celebrate?
All right.
Well, okay, but for me to get my button, I've got to stay away from coffee shops.
Oh, I didn't mean go out in the town, Carol. I meant, let's all go out for a walk.
Okay.
The 5-day plan outlined in today's program is a community service of Seventh-day Adventist hospitals and churches around the world. If you are interested in attending a 5-day plan in your area, contact your local Seventh-day Adventist hospital or church. The plan is highly recommended by health authorities and is conducted or supervised by medical personnel.